Hey everyone, this is Joseph Katz with CoverRight, and welcome to our first video recording about Medicare. Today we're going to talk about what does Medicare Part C cover, and I'm excited to introduce CoverRight's co-founders, that's a lot of C's, Richard and Tom. Richard and Tom, why don't you give you a 2-minute introduction and we'll take it from there.
Great. Well, I can kick it off. Well, thanks, Joseph, for organising this, and hi to everyone who's listening in for the first time. So my name's Richard, CEO of CoverRight. For those of you wondering where the accent is from, that's Australian. And my background is in financial services. Had a career in financial services for about 5-6 years, and then prior to starting CoverRight, was in the lending space, in sort of the fintech world, building for another problem on the other side of the sort of US demographic spectrum, in the student loan space. But Tom and I started CoverRight about 18 months ago, really because we saw this huge problem in terms of navigation of Medicare and Medicare plans for the 10,000 people that are retiring every single day, and we saw an opportunity for technology to really help solve that. And so excited to be here. We really love what we're doing in terms of helping seniors every day. And so one, thank you for organising this session, and I'll hand it to Tom to give his intro.
Cool. Yeah, thanks, Rich, and thanks, Joseph, for organising. And like Rich said, it's great to speak to everyone. My background is also I'm also from Australia, and I also have a background in finance, but I've also worked in retail, e-commerce for a few years as well. And yeah, like Rich said, we are super excited to be helping people now who are turning 65 to find the right Medicare plans that work well for them.
Amazing. So we titled this, what does Medicare Part C cover? Which begs the question, what's Medicare Part A and B? So Tom, maybe give us a 30-second overview of Part A and B, and then Rich, maybe you can jump in and start talking about what Part C covers.
Yeah, no problem. So Medicare Parts A and B are like the original kind of foundation of Medicare, is how I like to describe it to our clients. So that's the Medicare that you get from the government when you turn 65, or if you're under 65 and have disability benefits. Part A is hospital coverage, and Part B is medical coverage. And so, yeah, then you can purchase additional types of coverage to supplement or support that on top of that foundational layer, such as a Part C plan.
Yeah, and to add to that, Part A and B is traditionally what people call original Medicare. It's the default program that you get signed up to when you turn 65 and are already signed up to Social Security. Part C is really a privatized version of Medicare that's become super popular over the last, call it, decade or so, increasingly over the last few years. I'm sure a lot of people listening might have seen ads on TV for this product. And what Part C is really a private version of Medicare. So when you sign up to a Medicare Advantage plan or a Part C plan, what you are doing is you're proactively choosing to take your Medicare coverage through a private company that is contracted with the federal government to deliver Medicare, versus if you were in the Part A and B, where you're taking coverage directly from the government. So that's really the big difference that between A, B, and C.
So you used a couple of terms. I just want maybe, Tom, you can elaborate on. You mentioned Medicare Advantage. Is that's another name for Part C? And if the government is covering A and B, is there a cost for Part C?
Yeah, sure. And that is right. So Medicare Advantage is another name for Medicare Part C plans. The name Medicare Advantage comes from the kind of initial days when those plans were first released, and they have these added benefits, which we might talk about in a little while as well, and also known as advantages. And so that's where the name Medicare Advantage comes from. And now, I'm sorry, Joseph, what was your other question?
About costs.
Right. So yes, a lot of Medicare Advantage plans come at a $0 monthly premium, so you don't have to pay anything for them per month. Now, the way that those plans are able to offer those companies are able to offer those plans at a $0 premium is because you, as the beneficiary, you still need to continue paying your Medicare Part B premium, and that premium, it's $170 this year in 2022 per month. That goes direct to the government, and government.
We lost you a second there, Tom. So we'll hopefully come back to you when your audio comes back. Rich, the $171 fee is fixed by the federal government. Is that correct?
Yeah. So the rate is adjusted every single year, and I think, as Tom was trying to explain, basically, regardless of if you stay in what's called original Medicare, which it has Part A and B, or if you decide to go into a Medicare Advantage plan, you have to pay that underlying premium. The way that works is, either way, obviously the government is paying or subsidizing some of that service, and so when you're taking it directly from the government, you're paying them that money, and they'll help cover some of the costs under your hospital or medical. When you go through a Medicare Advantage plan, you're still paying that money. The government just funnels the payments for your medical services through to the private company that you're working with. So $170 is a standard amount. It actually ratchets up depending on your income, and that ratcheting is dependent on your income from actually 2 years ago. So it's not really the latest year, but it's 2 years ago, because that's the latest information the Social Security gets from the IRS on your income.
Got it. So Tom, I think you're back, and that's helpful. Rich, thanks for that clarification. In a minute or two, maybe you can just talk about some of the advantages that you referenced in terms of additional benefits, and then we can take a lot of this into a future video and dig deeper. So maybe at a high level, what are some of those additional benefits you get by going on a Medicare Advantage or Plan C?
Yeah, so I can take a go at that. So, like I said before, a lot of these plans carry these extra benefits, which is how Medicare Advantage got its name in the first place. And what's really exciting, and something that we think is great for our clients, is that these advantages or these benefits are expanding a lot each year. So a lot of people are probably familiar with the more standard benefits, which are things like dental and vision and hearing benefits. And a lot of, something like 95% of all Medicare Advantage plans offer all of these benefits now. But there's some additional benefits that are becoming more and more popular as well. So these are things like over-the-counter benefits, which is a cash allowance benefit that can be used for non-prescription related items found in a pharmacy. So, for example, toiletries, bandages, and adhesives or cleaning products that you would buy at a pharmacy. And some plans are offering in 2022, $50 or $100 or more per 3 months, which is a really great benefit, because it's for very common everyday items that people would purchase anyway. Another great benefit that's new for 2022 are flex cards. So this is an additional benefit, an additional cash benefit that you can usually use towards the existing dental, vision, or hearing benefit that's included in the plan. So you might get an extra, say, $500 that you can use towards extra dental work on top of the standard benefit that's included in the plan.
That sounds like some good benefits for people that need those services. Rich, final word, what would you suggest to people as they have to go through this Medicare process?
Yeah, I mean, I think, there are a lot of benefits to the Medicare Advantage plan, but what I would say is that there's no one size fits all in terms of Medicare. There are situations where it does make more sense to stay in the original program and have supplemental coverage. And so I'd say, my overarching comment is that when you are going through this decision, make sure you get advice from a trusted expert. And, we try and do that on our platform at CoverRight by educating you through that process. And just make sure that you're not just taking the recommendation from your friend or your neighbor or your doctor. There are a lot of considerations. One thing that we should have mentioned is that all Medicare Advantage plans do have to cover the same services that are covered under original Medicare A and B. The way they are covered, and we can cover this in a future video, is quite different to how they're covered in terms of your out-of-pocket costs and your obligations, and there are pros and cons. But as a sort of final word, like definitely get expert advice. Make sure you start, if you're turning 65, we recommend at least 3 to 6 months before that 65th birthday, and start talking to an expert.
That is good advice. One size does not fit all. So I encourage anyone who's interested to check out CoverRight. There's a simple quiz or flow you can go through to answer a couple of questions and get served up a few options that might make sense for you. And if you want to speak to anyone at the CoverRight team, you can reach out at hello@CoverRight, and someone will get back to you. And there's a phone number on our website. Have a great day, Rich and Tom. Appreciate the insights. Much more to come. This is a meaty topic, and at some point we'll have some fun with those commercials that you referenced earlier in the call.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Joseph.
Have a great day, everyone.
Have a good session.